I did it in person. So I'm trying to do my best with shifting how this works.
The reason that I chose that niche, I guess, or that kind of target audience is because
Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I am here with my friend, my client, my peer, Charmaine Platten. Charmaine is an overall, well, if you listened, I host the podcast. I don't know. Yes, I did. Okay, I'm like, wait, I've lost track. So an overall badass, we'll just leave it at that, an overall badass. And as Charmaine and I are saying, this is live, so it's not like pause, stop, rewind. Well, we can, but we're not going to. So pause, stop, rewind. This is Charmaine Platten. She is the best in the industry if you are wanting to get healthy, lose weight, especially she focuses on entrepreneurs and helping them, tell me if I'm wrong, Charmaine, I think I've got this right, helping them learn how to not sacrifice their bodies while growing a business.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, go me. Okay, got it. So I am excited to have Charmaine with me here live because she's going to share a little bit of her journey, what it's been like being in my program, the Live Your Dharma Coaching Certification. And Charmaine is like a star student. So she is the teacher's pet. No, I'm just kidding.
That's my goal. That's kidding.
Yeah, we'll just put it out. No, I'm just kidding. So Charmaine is small but powerful, I want to say, because she, when I met her in person, actually I did meet Charmaine in person now, twice. The first time I met Charmaine, I was like, I mean, I could tell she wasn't like a super tall person, but she makes me look tall, guys. So, but she's not like, but she's super powerful. So like, one thing I've learned in life is that height, size has nothing to do with energetically how you show up in the world and who you are. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I could blabble on forever. Obviously, everyone knows that. So Charmaine, this is supposed to be me spotlighting you. Tell them a little bit about where you were at when you joined the program. And it's been what, like 2.5 months, I think at this point. So we're almost halfway through.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for having me. So excited to be here. And yes, tiny people can be mighty. It doesn't matter what your height is. But yeah, like first of all, I wanted to join, well, okay, let me say before. Okay, so before I joined your program, I have been a coach, like a certified coach since 2018. So I've been a coach for a few years now, but the one thing that would always come up in my self-coaching and just always just in general with my own, I don't know, automatic thoughts popping in my head throughout the day is just that I'm not a good coach. And I don't know, I feel like no matter what I did, no matter how much I tried to change my thoughts, it just always kept coming like, I'm not a good coach. I'm not a good coach. And then I kind of like thought about it. I'm like, you know, maybe there's some validity here. Maybe my brain is just trying to give me a signal saying, hey, maybe my skills could have some improvement. Because I mean, I'm all for changing your thoughts, but sometimes the brain wants to alert us that maybe there's something we want to give attention to, and I don't want to dismiss it. And I really do think like Rachel's marketing is just like on point. It's just like, if you're not confident in your skills as a coach, it will affect your ability to market. It will affect your ability to help people. And I was just like, okay, it's been long enough. Like, I really want to address this and really focus on my skill. And yeah, and I'm tired of constantly having that narrative. It's like, I really want to be confident in my coaching skills so I could help people more effectively.
Yeah. And I love that. I love that you were like onto yourself and you weren't like, oh, I've already been doing this for this amount of time. So like kind of like shitting on yourself. Like, so I shouldn't need this, right? Mm-hmm. Because I don't know, personally, like for me, it's like, I will always probably be working on my skills at every level and just trying to always elevate them. I don't really believe there's like a cap on that. And first off, guys, though, Charmaine is really an amazing coach. So that is just a thought that she has.
Yes,
It is a thought error, which we call in the coaching world. But
it's true.
But it does help to be, I think I know, to be sometimes in a supportive container that helps you see those thought errors.
Right. And it's the thing, it's like, I don't have to tell myself that narrative that I'm a bad coach. Like it's really about the skill. It doesn't have anything to do about me personally or anything like that. So I could see that. And also though, I felt like it was just coming up because I did have some insecurities about my actual skills and how to actually navigate certain parts of coaching conversations that I wanted like support with. Cause I would try like reading books on my own and trying to do things on my own. And it just, I don't know, I wasn't staying accountable and I wasn't like ever setting enough time for it. So I'm like, okay, I need to be in a group. I need to be in the supportive container where, first of all, I love Rachel's coaching. That's why I wanted to work with her. Like I was hooked to sign up with her because when we met together for an in-person event a few months ago, she coached me on something. And then I was like, oh, dang, she's a great coach. And I never stopped thinking about, man, she coached me so well. And then I was like, I want to coach like her. Like I want to figure out what she does. So then that's why I wanted to like work with her.
Oh, I love that. So Charmaine, so I was on track of a thought of something you said, and FYI guys, this shit is not planned clearly. And I write notes even sometimes since I'm doing these and I'm not, I was like so in like, focused, but you made a comment about like I know what it was, about you reading books, right? And I love reading books and I'm all for it. Actually, one of the girls that's joining the next group, she messaged me yesterday. She's like, so what books do I need to have read by the time we start? I'm like, none. And she was like blown away by that. And I'm like, because here's the thing, like Charmaine was saying, you can read a book. Now I say read the books. I do too, but it's like trying to read a book to figure out how to drive a car. Like I use this metaphor a lot because you can read it and it's helpful, but until you get in the car and you get some feedback, it's probably not going to sink in. So Charmaine, I think, was really onto something that like, there's something that happens when you take it beyond just like that stage of ingesting, but you actually start to, like I call embody it, do it, which is exactly what Charmaine also does with her people, ironically, which is amazing. So Charmaine, I'm curious, since that last comment you said is I gave you some coaching and you're like, I want to coach like that. Do you remember like what it was about that coaching that like stood out for you? Because it's been a couple months, so it's okay if you don't.
Right. Well, I think what stood out to me a lot though was, first of all, like what I love about your approach specifically is that you're just really good at being very like holding space for me and being very non-judgmental, like just very like I feel like I could talk to you and easily be willing to share what's really on my mind, because I just feel like it's safe. Like you do a good job of just making it easy to talk and feel safe. And I feel like you're able to hold a neutral space really well. And then you just helped me see a perspective that I never had before. Cause it was about my own, like, I think, I know you coached me on several things, but the one that's standing out for me a lot was when you coached me on like weight loss, like my own weight loss journey and my own issues with body image. Cause I think since I'm a weight loss coach, I would never want to admit that I needed weight loss coaching myself. And when I actually felt, first of all, safe enough to share it with you, because I rarely get coached on that, because I have I would have blocks around that. So I wouldn't want to admit I needed coaching on it. So I felt safe enough to share my thoughts around my body with you. And then you helped me see a perspective about my body that I never had before. So I think that's what really helped me be like, oh, wow, like, I want to learn how to do that. Like I want to see how to coach in that way.
Yeah, I love that. And so would you say, I mean, I know we're only about halfway, but are you kind of feeling like through the program, you're kind of getting like pieces of that and being able to now start to apply it?
Right. Like, well, what I love about your program, first of all, it's very, like what you said, it's very like implementation focused. And I also love that it's very focused on regulating the nervous system. Like those are things that aren't really emphasized in other coaching programs I've been a part of. But you're very good at helping us actually practice skills. So one of my favorite calls with you, especially like when we first started, was when you had us do that exercise on like trying to find out what was the truth and what wasn't true or something like that. Like we just kind of had to tell the difference, like what's the truth and what's the story, and just like reiterating that and like sharing with everybody like, oh, what was actually true and what's the story. Just like being able to practice those things in real time is helpful. And then also you have a lot of tools that we can practice. Like you have a lot of modules and resources, but the live practice was really helpful. So I feel like I've been doing more peer coaching since I joined your program too. So just having that container where we're really encouraged to peer coach was helpful. And it helped me really just be more grounded in my calls and really focus more on the other person and not because you do so many grounding exercises. So I'm a lot better at being present during the calls and being a little bit more curious rather than having my own thoughts and agenda.
I love that so much. So that was going to be my next question, is how do you feel like it's actually impacting your coaching? But I think you kind of answered it, right? Like you said, being able to be more present and more grounded. And guys, I am all about the grounding. I think that's because personally I need so much of it myself.
Oh, me too.
I am
anxious.
Yeah. I am like in Ayurveda, which is like the sister science of yoga, they call there's like these things called doshas. So you have 3 doshas that are basically your body composition, what you're made up of. And I'm very Vata. And I think you probably are too, Charmaine. You're probably Vata Pitta, like me. And Vatas are very like airy, and they can kind of be like, ooh. And it's like, so we need a little grounding. Keep us on planet.
Yes, that would be helpful. I mean, that's why I really benefit from just, I mean, I love that you start each call with a grounding exercise, and it does help me just stay focused on the present moment with the client and not be so stuck in my head. That's what's different from your program from other coaching programs. Just that's the hardest thing for me in a coaching call, like really not being in my head. I mean, it's like I know intellectually I have to focus on them, but during the call, I don't know, I get so many judgments and assumptions up in there that it's so helpful to be centered.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for being so real and so vulnerable, because I think like we all get in our heads, people. Like just because you're a coach and you have lots of tools does not make you less human. Even myself, I have to sometimes like on the calls, like notice, oh, there I go again. Let's come back. Like, it's like, right? And it's like, I think that's how we grow. And that's why I think you're such a beautiful example of like, when you're willing to put in the work and do it, what can happen? Because, you know, it's like when we're not willing to be vulnerable and open, it's like, I don't know. It just like limits us from also, I think that's what helps to create that safe space, right? And I think that's what you do now for your clients, right? Like, of course, they have to feel safe with you in order to share like that, you know, like, let's be real. If someone is wanting to lose weight, I think you probably agree with me, Charmaine, there is emotional pieces to that. It's not just what you're putting in your mouth. Like, why are you putting that in your mouth? And literally, it's like you are treating yourself like probably like shit under the layers. And it's like, we got to create a safe space for people. So it's like, by you being willing to be vulnerable and open and share like all of this, like that creates such a safe space from within you for your clients. Anyways, that was a sidetrack, but really amazing and beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, and I mean, like in truth, like all those grounding exercises, I think we all need as humans, right? Like, oh my God, especially in this world, this crazy ass world,
Right.
we kind of live in. I mean, that's kind of judgmental, and I think maybe a fact. At least it feels like one. So,
I don't know. I think it's true. But
I don't know. It seems pretty true to me, although maybe there's people out there that don't agree. Who knows? So I'm curious, Charmaine. What would you say is like your favorite part of our group?
Gosh, there's so much. But one of the things I like, besides all the people in the group, like I have like, I don't know, I feel like so close with some of the people. Like it was just easy for me to click with a lot of them. Like
It's a pretty amazing group.
Yeah, they're really like, I don't know, some of them I'm just like, I love you. And I don't know, I like them a lot. And it's just really fun to like coach with them. And then something else I really like besides our weekly calls and how we practice tools and stuff is, I don't know, I just really love your office hours and just like you coaching us. Cause I mean, you coaching me during this program has been really helpful. And I mean, again, it's like your coaching sessions, it helps me have a great example of like, oh, you know, how a coach navigates a coaching session powerfully. Like I love seeing you navigate, like when I watch you coaching other people too, like I'm kind of like, oh, I wonder what question she'll ask. Like it's a great learning experience for me. And then I love you coaching me and just helping me have a lot of insights with that same compassion and safety that you held for me a few months ago. So I just love the office hours a lot. Like I like seeing you coach people and just learning a lot from that.
Oh my God,
it's a great experience. Yeah.
I love that. And I love what you just said about like, this is something I was actually saying, I forget to who, someone in our group, I don't remember, it might be a one-on-one client, about that. For me, I know I was sharing it with Tavana. So Tavana is a coach that Charmaine and I both work with. And I was saying, like, one of the things I love doing is watching other coaches from two perspectives. Like one, like you said, what I like, but also from what I don't like, because it's not that it's wrong, but it's like, that's what helps form our style. And I do think that's one of the best ways we grow as a coach.
Right. So
I love that you're doing that, because I haven't even said to people, oh, you should like take these calls, not just in for you and apply it, but also from the perspective as like the outsider watching in, like observing the coaching style almost.
Right. Which is true. It helps you see what your unique style is. Cause yeah, like when I got my certification, I just wanted to copy what I was taught in the certification. And then I felt like, oh, I'm not doing it the right way if I didn't do it exactly like what they said. And so I think there's a lot of shame around that, because I was like, oh, I'm not a good coach because I'm not doing it the right way that I was taught. So it took me I'm still in the process of it, but it's taking me, you know, it kind of takes me some time to be like, what is my style? Like, how do I want to hold this conversation? Like, because I get to choose, you know?
Yeah. And that's where it gets to be so fun, right? When we start to craft, I think, our own style.
Right.
And lean in on it and just trust in it.
Right. Trust is a big one for me.
Trust is a big one. Yeah. We talk a lot about that.
Yeah. I love that you emphasize that a lot in the program too. Like, you're really great on emphasizing that trust, because it's true. It's like, if you want to be a coach and master your skills, like, you also have to trust your own intuition and trust your own judgment. And that's the piece of me that was lacking, because I kept feeling like I don't have good judgment. Like, I have to do it the textbook way, so I can't trust myself. So there was a lot of shame and around that
stuff. Yeah. And hey, anyone who's listening, if you're resonating with Charmaine, it's common. Like, I felt those same things too. Like, you're given this like method, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe from a coaching program or a certification or school or whatever, and you're told this is what's going to work and make you successful. So, I mean, that's kind of how we're even raised, right? You go to You go to elementary school, you go to middle school, you go to high school, and they give you books and you study, you ingest, but you're never really taught to so much think outside of it and like think like beyond what someone else is giving you. Like, well, what do I actually intuitively, what do I like, creating that space to kind of figure that out without having someone else kind of tell you the right way? Or how can I kind of take all these things plus my own inner knowledge and make it kind of my own?
Right. Which I love that you have a great example of that yourself, because I like you could clearly see you have so many influences from yoga and also from our coach certification school and just all these, and from the other mastermind we're in. Like, I see all of your influences, but you mesh it in your own way that's like you, and then it's like, and your client will be attracted to your style, and it's just like, oh, and I really like your style, like not the other ones. And it's just like, and yeah, you will find people that will like your style.
Yeah, and just like people are gonna like the Charmaine style and all the other people out there's style. And I do think that's important, and that is something that we work on, guys, is creating your style. There's no necessarily right style, right? It just doesn't exist as much as we all want there to be. There just doesn't. It's comes back to like that inner trust. So Charmaine, if getting ready to open the doors for another group, if someone is on the fence right now and they've seen maybe some of my posts, or they're watching this right now and they're like, ooh, that sounds kind of fun, kind of cool, and they don't mind the word fuck, because obviously Charmaine knows it's like a lot of that word comes out,
which I love.
Yeah, if that bothers you, you don't like, as my husband would say, potty mouth or truck driver talk, okay, I might not be your coach for sure. But if you're cool with that, what would you say if someone was on the fence right now? What would you want them to know, or what would be your words of wisdom for them?
I would say, honestly, I don't know. I think everything you get for the program, like the investment, like it's like worth so much more than that. Like when she gave the press, I was like, oh my God, that's a steal. But anyway, so I was just, I
wish
just
everyone
like,
thought that, Charmaine.
No, it is a steal, but I'm just like, what?
But I think so.
No, it's like a steal, man. And then I was like, I don't know, I was just so proud of myself for trusting my intuition, of like trusting, like, okay, yes, like when you have a connection with that coach, and if you know that, you like her style and you like, and she's really someone that you get, like, intuition's big to me. Like, if you like that coach on a personal level and you like the skills and stuff, like it's just like, just go for it. Like, just trust yourself. Because I'm glad I did, because it's just like, oh, I knew right away, like, I want her help. And then I just followed that, and I'm glad I did, because now I'm getting the support that I needed, that I've been like pushing back for so long. And it's helping me grow so much faster with support, rather than if I kept going by myself. So don't keep suffering alone, and don't keep doing that to yourself. It's really a lot more painful to figure it out on your own, in my opinion. Like, I really recommend like getting the help you need with the group, and especially with someone like Rachel, who has so much experience, and she's amazing at what she does, and she's great at making us a container that's really safe and welcoming. Like, you'll feel like totally welcome there. Like, there's no judgment, no competition at all.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So if you're on the fence, just fucking do it. Right?
Right? Yeah, just go, man. Like, there's a reason why you're needing to, you have a calling to do something about it,
Yeah, absolutely. And okay, I do want to just point out, if anyone's listening right now and, you feel like you are sacrificing your body for your business, seriously, guys, Charmaine doesn't toot her own horn enough, but she's really good at what she does. Like, really fucking good. One of the girls in our program did just her free thing, and she lost like 5 or 10 pounds in like a week. And, you know, I'm sure that's not everyone, but seriously, she's really good, guys. So if you're listening, you can literally click on probably a link right in here and message Charmaine, but obviously I can also give you her information, so don't hesitate to reach out to me. And if you are a coach, and even if you've been coaching for 5 years, I don't care, 10 years, there's always room to grow your skills. Or if you're kind of brand spanking new, we love all of you in all levels, believe it or not, mesh very well together. So you can apply, and I'll drop the link somewhere.
Yes, don't use the years as a reason to not get help, because I was close to, when you mentioned that, it's just like, I shouldn't be getting help because I've been a coach for like X amount of years, but like 3 or 4 years, but so what? Like, who cares?
Who cares?
Like, it doesn't matter.
Yes. And
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And Charmaine's really true. I mean, we really do. I mean, of course we're humans, but really do try to create a space that has, with some of the yoga philosophy, which is non-judgment is one of them. So really do try to create that safe space. And Charmaine's not the only one. There's other ones in the group that even longer have been coaching. And when you are willing to put your ego to the side, it's amazing truly what you can create. Even myself, I got licensed as a therapist 20 years ago, 25 years ago, holy shit. But I will always still be working on this.
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, exactly. It's never too late. It's never too, yeah.
And we're also limited by our own brains, because that's just what our brains do. So it's like, I mean, I have my coaches too, because we can't see what often is like smack in front of us. Even someone points it out and you're like, oh, wait, how did I not see that? It seems like so obvious, but it's the beauty of the human brain.
Right. Right. You'll always need a coach no matter what point in your career. Like, I'm never going to ever stop having a coach. Like, I don't even know how I could function without a coach.
Me either.
I don't know
anymore.
how I functioned. So, but how have I functioned so many years of my life without a coach? Like, I don't even know how that's possible. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I look back at some of the things and I'm like, they're fine. Lots of lessons learned, but could have been probably maybe a bit smoother. And so that's okay. That's part of growth.
Right.
Anyway. All right, Charmaine, thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy day to share your experience with my audience. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. If you're interested in the Live Your Dharma program, don't hesitate to reach out to Charmaine. If you've got some weight to take off, don't worry. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. I've had to do it. Charmaine's had to do it. It's part of living in our culture, people.
Oh, yeah.
All right, everyone, have a wonderful Thursday. See you next time.
Thank you.